Hello everyone, Dylan Stevens again. In today's video, I wanted to discuss machines versus free weights. So a lot of people have opinions on this. A lot of people say machines are bad, you should not use machines, you should stick with free weights. But if you've been watching this channel, you know that there's no such thing as a black and white answer. So I will now discuss the differences between the two and who should and who should not use machines. So first, let's discuss this from an athletic power perspective. So if you want to get better at a sport, there's almost no machine out there that's going to closely mimic the event or the action that you're performing in your sport. So you wouldn't have a baseball player doing leg presses. You would have them doing split squats with a barbell or a dumbbell or dumbbells. There are some exceptions. You can do, say, a split stance cable row or a split stance press or some sort of an anti-rotation press with cables, but for the most part, most athletes are going to be getting the most out of free weights. Almost no machine is going to help them with their athletic event or power or explosiveness. So for the most part, athletes are going to stick with free weights. If they're in some sort of a strength, or if they're in some sort of a hypertrophy phase where they're trying to get as big as possible, or they're severely underweight, maybe they can add in some machines just to get that extra volume in. But for the most part, athletes are going to get the most benefit out of free weights. So next, let's discuss this from a strength perspective. So if you're a power lifter and you're benching, squatting, and deadlifting in your competitions, you should focus on free weights 100%, because that is what you are going to be competing with. So that's what you should do. If you just want to be stronger overall and you don't really care about application to real life activities, such as picking up heavy objects or jumping and this and that, you could use machines to get stronger for sure, but the same transfer that you see with free weights isn't going to be there with machines. So machines are very specific in the way that they train your muscles. So you're getting really strong just on that machine. You will see some transfer, and also it depends on your experience. Beginners will see more transfer than advanced, but you will see more of a transfer to real life activities doing free weights rather than machines. And if you have a blown out back, you should probably do leg press or hip thrusts instead of back squats and deadlifts. So this really comes down to your goals, whether or not you're a power lifter, your experience level for sure. Beginners can definitely use machines just to get better at form and mechanics. But the more advanced you get, the better your form gets, the more you should focus on free weights if your goal is to increase everyday life proficiency and strength. So next, we'll discuss this from the hypertrophy or size perspective. Usually you want to stick mainly with free weights, but there are a lot of benefits in gaining muscular size with machines. You usually always want to start your workouts with heavy compound exercises with a dumbbell or barbell. So these are your bench presses, dumbbell rows, barbell rows, back squat, front squat, hip thrust. But you're for sure going to want to add in some machine work towards the end of your workout. So machines can hit your muscles in very unique ways that free weights cannot. For an example, you have machine flies, which give constant tension on your pecs. You're lifting the weight on the stack and your hands are to the side, and it's the same difficulty all throughout the motion. When you're flat on your back doing dumbbell flies, it's really easy from here about halfway, and then it really starts to get hard because that's when gravity starts to take over and your arm is getting a lot longer, the lever is a lot longer. So there are a lot of benefits to machines when you're trying to get bigger. You should definitely start your workouts with compound exercises using dumbbells and barbells. They use the most muscle fibers, they light up your muscles, they activate every muscle fiber. But you should definitely add in some machine work towards the end because, one, you can push a lot harder. You don't have to worry about dropping the weight on yourself. You can go closer to failure. You don't have to worry about stabilizing the weight. You don't have to worry about any accessory muscles failing before the muscle you're trying to hit. And you can isolate these muscles a lot easier. So when your goal is to get bigger, definitely you can definitely add in some machines, and it's not a bad thing. It's probably a really good thing to add in some machines, but you do want to start your workouts with some sort of compound dumbbell or barbell exercise.